Hi everybody, part 2. So, I got a question here, and I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name, but it is Iridi Oladipo. Can GIS be used in a society like ours where we have access to cracked software? And by that I mean, I presume you mean you've got software that is either not standard, is free, or perhaps has been taken off of somebody else's license. Well, first and foremost, if you contact Esri, or you use a system like Esri has stuff that's very discounted and available for developing nations, and I would give them a call. But if that's still expensive, there are systems like OpenGIS and QGIS that are very affordable for places that don't have a lot of access and don't have a lot of money. And that's okay too, because the most important part isn't about whether or not you have the most latest, greatest, up-to-date ArcGIS 10.1. The most important thing is getting the map out, getting the GIS knowledge out, such that a person can make wiser decisions. It doesn't really matter ultimately if your local engineer and your local politician and your local environmentalist can get the latest, greatest information or how awesome it is. What they want to be able to have is information they can act on. And that's really critical. Being able to act on information is worth 1,000 good maps. If you have 1,000 really pretty maps and you can't do anything with them, that's not going to help you. But if you have one good map with one good idea that someone can act on and convert into something useful, now you're that much farther ahead of the game. So that's what's really important, isn't whether or not you have the greatest software. GIS has some free options like OpenGIS and QGIS, and we have some options through Esri that I will try and put some of your conference organizers in on, and we will see what we can do to find some low-cost or no-cost software that allows you to just develop that information. And that's the important part. Get information that's actionable. It doesn't matter if you have the best software in the world or you have inexpensive software. As long as it works and gets out the map and the information that makes it a better decision, then you're fine. Next question from Bamadili Adedayo. Again, I apologize if I mispronounced that. You have such some beautiful names here, and I'm sorry I don't know all the languages or all of the. I know Nigeria has many languages inside of it, and many dialects within those, so I apologize. What is the best approach to kickstart an environmental GIS project? Well, the most important part isn't even the software, it's the people. Get your environmental project engineers, get your businesses, get your government, get all the people who need to have a stake in that to the same table. And more importantly, when you organize that project to say, hey, look, we're not here to talk about whose project is most important. We're here to find a balance. We're here to find the wisest project that does the most good for the most people. That's what's really important. Once you get the right people around a table, then you can start developing your map. But the first part is getting the right people that can make a good, fair decision around the table. Now, sometimes you might think that a person you won't necessarily agree with, but that's okay too. Have a person, it may be important to have 2 or 3 people you don't always agree with, because those people you don't always agree with will help you frame the project better. And then you put it out on a map. You say, we've got this resource here, and these people here, and this road here, and this water here, and this environmentally sensitive regions there, and we need to put all of this together so that this business can develop, and this logging and oil can develop, but we protect all the sensitive fish and wildlife that are over there. So what do we do together? The great part about a map is once you put everything up on a map and it's on all sides, it's an equal and fair map, then everybody knows where they sit. Everybody knows who's got what stake where. And that will allow you to create a good environmental GIS project. Not having the right stake, not having the right stakeholders, as we say here in the United States, not having the right people around the table really hinders a project. So therein lies one of the most critical things, is always having the right people in a project. And once you have the right people in a project, then go ahead and develop the map. And by the way, if you're having trouble getting the right people to a project, take the person who cooks the best, make some food, have everyone gather around food. Because let me tell you something, you may be laughing right now, but the best meetings I've ever had are when everybody has, some good, so I'm from Western New York, and we make chicken wings with that famous sauce, and you see them eating probably during Super Bowl or any of those things. Take your favorite food. Have everybody relax around it. Maybe have a beer or something like that. Not too many beers, just one. And have everyone relax and share stories and have a good time. And if you have people who don't drink, make sure they can bring their own, beverage of choice. That really is important to have a relaxed scenario that everyone can talk together. And therein, you might get the best stakeholders who can agree that the principle of a map is to do certain things. Last question. From Ojo Johnson, are there job opportunities for GIS users? The answer is yes, and it's not just my job. The GIS growth across the world has been fantastic. Even in the United States, which has had a slow growth economy, they're expecting well over 20,000 jobs to open in the next 7 years in GIS alone. They're also going to have a number at non-governmental organizations. They're going to have a number involved with places like the UN, involved with places where you will see a lot of international recognition for GIS going forward. So you have a lot of opportunities right now. The key part is if you're a student, get an internship in this field. That is really critical. Get someone who can give you some good experience in the field. If you're no longer an intern, if you're out in the field, you're a younger person looking to develop your skills, well then the next thing you can do is go ahead and find whatever job is in GIS. And I'll be honest with you, there was one point where I had to take a part-time job doing one thing because I didn't have the money. This is when I was much younger. I didn't have the money, so I had a part-time job doing one thing and a part-time job doing some GIS until I got the full-time job doing GIS. It happens sometimes. The key part is that you're doing what you want to practice, and then you'll be able to develop it. The key part is in developing experience. All of you are very capable of developing experience. Find a company that needs your resource. And by the way, sometimes a company doesn't even know they need you. They'll say, well, we need someone to study landforms and study businesses. Now, they may not ask for a geographer or a GIS specialist, but they need them. So don't be afraid to say, I'm a GIS person and I think I can solve your problem. That's the big thing. Employers aren't looking for skills. They don't care if you know GIS. They care if they know you can solve a problem for them. And if GIS is the tool, great. See, that's the great part about GIS is it allows you the perspective to solve people's problems. They don't hire people to have great skills or to have a lot of degrees or to have all kinds of knowledge. I've seen lots of people with all kinds of knowledge don't have jobs because they can't solve anybody's problem. People give you money to solve their problem. They give me money to solve problems in the state of New York for transportation. They'll give you money to solve other problems for other things that are specific to Western Africa. So use that. Think about that. Find somebody's problem to solve with your GIS skills, and that's how you'll get hired. So, yes, there are jobs available. Take it to heart. I know sometimes in a slow economy it looks rough, but you're in a growing field. And don't be afraid to compete everywhere. Don't be afraid to go up and say, I've got these skills. I think they match what you need, even though your job title or your employment offer doesn't say GIS specialist. I think I can help you with these skills. You never know. I wound up getting a job when I first got a job with the government 10 years ago. I got a job as an economist. Not because I have an economics degree. I don't. But I did a lot of economic geography with GIS when I was in school. So what I was able to deliver to these people was economic geography in school. And I was able to then say, this is economics, and I got a job as an economist. It wasn't exactly the way I expected it, but it was the way it worked out, and now I'm doing transportation geographics and GIS, and I absolutely love it. So don't be afraid to branch out and think of different things, because you will be able to get a job. Just think about solving people's problems. Think about what you need to do to develop the future. All right, I wish everyone, again, a good conference. Thank you so much for the questions, and feel free to email me. All right, you take care, everyone. Have a great day.